What's up, folks? How's it going? This is Avijit here, and welcome to Devops Challenge Hub. And today, let's go to today's interview question. So today's interview question, we have today short interview questions on AWS key pairs. So, what are key pairs? Key pairs are a combination of public and private SSH keys used to securely connect to an EC2 instance. So, when you want to connect to EC2 instance, you can connect using username password, right? When you log into machine, you connect to a machine, you can use username password to securely connect. So, but password is easy to break. So that's why we use private keys. These are difficult to break in. So public and private key pair we use. So public and private key SSH keys used to securely connect to an EC2 instance. So public key is stored by AWS and private key is downloaded. Private key is downloaded by the user and used to SSH into instance. So let's go to dashboard and launch instance, OS image, Amazon image, AMI, instance type, key pair. Key pair is for login. You can use key pairs to securely connect your instance. Ensure that you have access to selected key pair before you launch the instance. So I can select already existing one, which I have created earlier. So I have already created this one, DevOps Challenge Hub. And it's a year specific, locations are region specific. That currently I've selected Ohio region US, so that's why this key pair also specific to this region. It will store in this region. For different region, I have to create different key pair. And if I want to create new, I can click on create new and give some name, RSA, and private key file format, PM for OpenSSH, like for Mac or Linux, I'll be using PM format. PPK I will be using for PuTTY, mostly on Windows. For Windows machine, if I want to connect to this machine, then I want to use PPK. So here, let's say I'm launching Ubuntu machine. So if I want to connect to this Ubuntu from my Mac, I'll be using PM key. And if I want to connect to this Ubuntu machine from my Windows, then I'll be using PPK using PuTTY. And then click on create key pair, and it will ask you to download the private key. Public key will store on AWS. Okay, I have already created this one. And now let's go and connect to the instance, log into the instance, connect, SSH client. So I have already downloaded and I need to change the permission. Run this command if necessary to ensure key is not publicly available. That's why I'm running this command 400. So it should not be publicly viewable. Means only I will have the access, read access, uh, uh, others and groups, etc. Disable 00. Okay, stage mode 400 and then connect. SH minus I, then SH minus I, then key, same key, then Ubuntu at IP address. SH minus I, then this same key, then Ubuntu at IP address or Ubuntu at DNS. Yeah. Enter. Are you sure you want to connect to continue? Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Okay. Now let's go to the second question. What is the key pair in AWS EC2 and why is it important? Key pair public private is used to secure SSH access to Linux EC2 instance. So that's why it's important. Secure access. It's secure for securing access. Can you connect to EC2 instance without a key pair? If yes, how? Yes, you can connect to EC2 instance without a key pair, provided like you are using system manager, session manager, or setting password based login. Password based login not recommended for security reasons. But for system manager, you need to run the agent. At the time of launch, I think you can set that up. Okay. What happens if you lose your private key? Can you still access your instance? There are a few rescue options. Okay, let me show you that session manager instance connect session manager. Session SSM agent was unable to connect to system manager endpoint. So if I have enabled system manager on my that Ubuntu instance, then I would have been able to connect using without SSH from here using this session manager. I would have just clicked on connect. Connect to your instance without SSH key, a Bastion host, or opening any inbound port. Sessions are secured using AWS Key Management Service Key. You can log session commands and details in AWS S3 bucket or CloudWatch logs or group. And okay, so what happens if you lose your private key? Can you still access your instance? There are a few options to rescue it. Means you can't access directly. Use an alternative user connection. Suppose like you have alternative user means user account set it up. So you will be able to connect, for example, a different key, a bash down or jump server using that alternative user connection, or create a new key or using session manager the way I have shown, provided a same agent is installed and running. Create a new key pair and replace the old key. So detach the disk root volume, EBS, and attach it temporarily. So if that disk doesn't get terminated, doesn't get deleted on termination of your instance, so that EBS volume we can attach. For example, if I go here, 52, and then there are volumes. And under that, there will be like EBS volumes. For some reason, my machine is a bit slow. But yeah, so that EBS volume, like once you terminate the instance, EBS volume will be there, root volume. So attach that temporarily to another instance where you have access, mount the disk, and manually update the authorized key. Manually update the authorized key, home username, SSH authorized key, with a new public key corresponding to the new private key pair. So create a new public private key pair and update this authorized key. So you can generate a new public key private key pair using uh, SSH keygen and reattach the disk back to the original instance and remove. Now you can SSH using your new private key. That is one option. Or use provider specific rescue feature. Like for example, EC2 instance, use EC2 instance connect. Browser based SSH for Amazon Linux Ubuntu if enabled. AWS System Manager. If SSH agent is installed and configured, you can use Session Manager to connect without SSH at all. How would you add a new key pair to an existing EC2 instance? So this is the existing EC2 instance. Okay. And if I go to SSH and authorized key, okay, so this is my authorized key, and I can add a new key pair. Manually add a new public key to this file on the instance. So manually I can create something SSH key, and using SSH key, I can create the key. So I have created a key here. Here are the two keys, public key, private key. So that is also possible. And then add this new key to this authorized key. Where is the public key stored when you create a key pair in AWS? Is stored in authorized key. Right? Home username .ssh authorized key. Home username home ubuntu.sh/ authorized key. What are the security best practices for storing and using key pairs? Store that private key securely in password protected vault or secret manager. So it has to be stored securely. Currently, I have kept it in my downloads folder, but it has to be stored securely. Then set strict file permission. I have set permission 400. Never share the private key. Rotate keys periodically if needed. Once in a while, you rotate it. After a month or so, you can rotate it. Rotate keys periodically if needed. Avoid hardcoding or uploading the keys to the public repo. I should not upload this private key to a public repo. So these are the best practices, security best practices. Right? Can the same key be used across multiple EC2 instances? Yes, same key can be used. I can use the same key, reverse challenge key, if I want to launch multiple instances. Same key pair can be used. How do key pairs relate to S3 access on Linux versus RDPS? For Linux, we use that key directly, right? Pin key I'm using directly -N. But for Windows, after I launch the instance, there will be like on the UI, there will be option decrypt the password using your private key. So click on decrypt password and give your private key, you will get the Windows password. Username password, using that you can log into Windows RDP connection. Can you change the key pair associated with a running instance? How? Not directly. You can manually replace the public key on the instance or create new AMI and launch a new instance with the new key. Take the backup, like you are not able to you are like lost the key or you want to change the key. Take the backup, can create the AMI and then launch a new instance. So let's go to the quiz section. Where is the private key stored after creating a new key pair? It's stored in EC2 metadata. Sorry, where is the private key stored after creating a key pair? Private key stored is it's basically downloaded by the user. It's not uh, stored in AWS. It's downloaded by the user. Only public is stored in AWS. That is stored in EC2 home user home ubuntu /.ssh/ authorized key, but it has to be private key has to be downloaded. What happens if you lose your private key for an EC2 instance? AWS can regiant, access is lost, recovery requires attaching the volume to another instance. So answer will be B. Access is lost, requires recovery requires attaching the volume to another instance. So that's it for today. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, follow DevOps Challenge Hub on LinkedIn. I organize quiz contest. You can participate in the contest and also follow WhatsApp channel for regular updates. Thank you for watching this video and see you again in the next video.